If you want to change the way your team operates and the way you lead, try this experiment. Ready? For the next 30 days, only ask questions. No answers, no fixing, no telling people what to do. Just questions. Hi, I'm Marlo Lyons, and this is Cracking the Code, a mini-series as part of the Work Unscripted podcast. We're here to investigate the why behind work, relationships, and human behavior, and today's episode will change your work, your team's work, and how you lead. Not to solve every problem here, we're just trying to understand it a little bit more deeply, and to give you something meaningful you can carry into your day. So let's dive in. What would happen if someone brings you a problem and you don't solve it? You only ask questions. If someone asks for direction, but you only ask questions. When a meeting stalls, you don't take over. You only ask questions. Most leaders think their job is to have all the answers. But the truth is the best leaders create better thinking in the room. And questions are how they do that. Now, before we go further, there's one important rule. Never start a question with why. Why makes people defensive. Think about it. If your boss says, "Why did you do that?" or "Why did you do it that way?" you immediately start justifying yourself. Your brain goes into defense mode instead of curiosity mode. So instead of asking why, you try asking questions like, what led you to that approach? How did you come up with that conclusion? What options did you consider? What do you think the next step should be? Those questions open people up. They create reflection instead of resistance. Okay, are you willing to commit right now to trying this for a month? Here's what will happen if you actually commit to this for 1 month. First, it will feel incredibly uncomfortable. Leaders solve, fix, direct, and many times leaders do it quickly to get that issue off their plate or the person out of their office. But that is lazy leadership. There, I said it out loud. Yes, lazy leadership. That's about you, not about your employee, not about your cross-functional stakeholder, or what the company needs. What is not lazy leadership is developing your team members or others to think and own decisions and solutions. So stop jumping in and ask questions. At first, you may hear silence, and silence can feel awkward. But if you sit in it long enough, something interesting happens. People start thinking for themselves. Your team begins to develop their own answers. And that's when leadership shifts from dependency to ownership. The second thing that happens, you start hearing ideas you never would have thought of in an urgent moment to solve. Because when leaders talk too much, they accidentally shut down creativity. When you ask questions, instead, you make room for perspectives you didn't know were there. And the third thing, and this is a big one, you become a better leader because you learn more. When you're always giving answers, you're operating from what you already know. When you ask questions, you discover what you don't know. You uncover hidden problems, new opportunities, and insights from the people closest to the work. So here's the challenge. For the next 30 days, try leading with questions, not interrogation, not passive-aggressive questioning, real curiosity. Questions like, what have you already tried and how did that work? What do you think success looks like here? What might be missing? What's the hardest part of this problem? If this works, what happens next? What support do you need from me? Watch what happens. Your meetings will change. Your team will start owning solutions. And you might realize something surprising. Leadership isn't about having the best answers. It's about asking the questions that unlock everyone else's thinking. Try it for a month, see what changes, and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me for this mini moment of insight on Work Unscripted. If today's episode helped you see your world a little differently, pass it along to someone who needs to learn how to not be lazy in their leadership. Until next time, keep asking better questions and keep it unscripted. The journey is yours. Work Unscripted is produced and edited in partnership with the team at Palm Tree Podco and 21 Digby. The content for this week's episode was created by me, Marlo Lyons.